The Middle of the Pack podcast.
Running has given me so much, and like across all areas of my life. Like, it's not just running, it's benefited me in so many other ways, and I think it's so good for your head, like even if you get out for 15 minutes.
Welcome to episode 6 of the Middle of the Pack podcast, and that's Karen Twomey, our guest today, talking about what running has done and means to her. So let's kick off today's episode. This is the Middle of the Pack podcast with today's guest, Karen Twomey.
All good. Yeah, it's been a busy week, a lot of things happening. So yeah, good. I feel like that's life. Training, working, everything is just hectic. That's life.
Yeah, and your day job is a teacher, or am I wrong?
Actually, yeah, I'm a primary school teacher. Only as of recent though, I qualified in April. So I actually did a master's in teaching with Hibernia. And I actually did nursing before that for 5 years.
Oh, right. Very good.
Yeah. And I was working as a personal trainer then as well. So I feel like I'm kind of a jack of all trades. But teaching now is like my final career. I'm gone from the gym. I'm just teaching.
And that is the favourite?
Oh yeah, 100%. I love it. I knew when I went into nursing that it wasn't for me. And I found it really hard to apply myself. Like, I'm the type of person, I have to love something to want to do it. So I found it really hard to apply myself. So like I really trudged through 5 years of it to come out with a degree at the end. Whereas with teaching then I found the total opposite. Like, it was the 2-year master's was one of the hardest things I've ever done, but I loved every minute of it. And I loved like working really hard for it. So I think just, it shows like, when you love something, you'll actually you'll apply yourself to it. Whereas the nursing, I couldn't envision myself doing it at all.
Well, we had Laura on there a couple of weeks back. It's a vocation, really, like, isn't it?
100%, yeah.
Teaching is as well, really, isn't it? Like, you're looking
after.
Yeah,
I think there's definitely similarities, like, in the two. And I kind of always knew it would be one of those routes that I go down. Like, I'm a social person. I like working with people. I knew that I'd have to be doing a job where I was busy, that I was up and moving around. So it was always going to be one of those routes. But definitely both are a vocation, yeah.
So teaching hours probably does suit running though, doesn't it?
Yeah, like I'm only kind of finding out now because, so I only started like, say, officially working as a teacher, a qualified teacher, since last week. Prior to that, I'd been, say, teaching. I was working in the gym. I was still doing nursing hours because I was only subbing, and I was still doing college work. So I was kind of doing a bit of subbing, a bit of working in the gym. I was doing some nursing hours with a family I've worked with for like 7 years.
Yeah.
So I was just kind of juggling like 3 jobs at once, a college degree, and then I was trying to train as well. So I kind of hit burnout like over and over and over again when I was running, mostly like through injury, or just like total fatigue. Whereas now I'm actually getting to enjoy walking out at 3 o'clock in the day and having time to go training and still having time to sit down after, like fuel myself properly, like have the time to actually sit down, make myself proper meals and get to bed at 9 o'clock. Whereas before, like, I'd be up till 12 o'clock trying to juggle everything.
And would you have been a morning or an afternoon or an evening runner?
I would say morning. Like, on an ideal day, I'd love to get out at like 10 a.m.
Yeah.
But obviously that's not feasible during the week. And like coming into winter, I'm definitely not going to be someone getting up at 6:30 to go out for my runs. Just safety wise, I'm like, no, I can't get on board with it. So afternoon, like 4 or 5 o'clock now. But if I had it my way, I'd be out when I get down.
Yeah. I'm definitely morning person. But evening running, when we do any races or anything like that, any of the evening races, I find it very hard to adjust.
Very. I've only ever done one. I did Cormac Cherry 10.
Yeah,
and that was only when I went running. I wasn't being coached or anything at the time. Like, I had just been going out running myself a couple of days a week. And it was at 8 o'clock, I remember, on a Friday night. And I remember going into it, I was like, what do I eat? Like, do I drink more water? I was totally thrown. And then by the time the race was finished, the excitement of it had died down and I was back in the car. Like, I don't think I was home till probably 11, half 11, and then trying to eat dinner. And I just kind of said, no, that was not for me. I'm more of a stop at 8 a.m. kind of person.
Tell me, if I'm right in saying you were a runner when you were much younger, you were a runner, weren't you?
Yeah, a big runner. I started when I was 15. And I always laugh because when I initially started running, I started with 2 girls that were in my class. I think we were just starting our junior cert. It was in second year in secondary school. And the two girls were really fast. They were hockey players. They were really fast, and they decided they wanted to start athletics. So I went along with them, and I am obviously not a sprinter. I've never been a sprinter. I joined the sprint group. I was absolutely diabolical. I remember the two girls were unbelievable, so fast. And I kept thinking, like, this is not for me. This is not for me. I never really played sports. And then that summer, I remember being like, I really want to work on my fitness, just getting fitter. And I remember then going back to training in September. It was with Level. And I went back in September, and the two girls they couldn't come. They missed the session. And I think there was no sprints on that evening. So they sent me into a middle distance group and basically was told, go run 5 laps as fast as you can. Ran, came in first out of everyone. And they were like, why have you not been in this group the whole time? And that kind of set off then my training with the middle distance group. Yeah.
And are you still with Level?
No, I'm not. So
And
I
you,
ran with them until I was probably 18, I think. And then I actually didn't run for, I'm going to say 6 or 7 years.
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't train at all until 2 years ago. I totally stopped. So I'm actually running with Eagle now. But like I laugh, I've never gone to an Eagle session or anything. Yeah, I've never gone. It was after the Blarney half in November. I came third. And I
Yeah.
was approached by someone from Eagle, and he said, who are you? Who are you running with? And I was kind of like, oh, I just run by myself, you know? And he was like, no, you're joining Eagle. So lo and behold, at the end of that week, I was joined Eagle, but I've never joined for a session. Yeah, I'm a member, but not really a member.
Well, yeah, but I think there's a few people. I mean, I think I can only speak as I'm only a new member to Eagles. So, but I know that there's a lot of people are members, but don't necessarily go to the Tuesday or the Thursday night session.
This
And,
is it, yeah. Like you have
but
the option to do the main thing.
yeah, but I would say it's been very good for us, and this is probably any club, not just Eagles. The advantage would be they do long runs at the weekend. Now, you might have your own social crowd, but we've managed to hook up with a nice group that stops in the marina for coffee or goes to Costa in Ballincollig, that sort of thing. But it is a very
Yeah, okay.
sociable bunch, like, yeah. But the track sessions
100%.
are great. I love
Yeah,
them.
I always mean to. I'm like, I'd love to join for one, but the way my training goes, I get sent my training. I do most of my training on my own. Like, I suppose that's the thing when you have like a one-to-one coach, you
Yeah,
do end
yeah.
up doing a lot of your own, which is a shame. But I'm actually racing in Charleville next weekend, so it'll be the first time that I actually am wearing the singlet.
Oh, great, great.
So I'll be an official Eagle member once I wear the singlet.
Well, we're doing Charleville as well. We just got our tops delivered today. This
Yeah,
goes
I got my number. Yeah.
This will go out after that now. Yes, it will. So we'll have to report back on how we did. But you can meet us at the start line. There's normally a big Eagles photograph.
Yeah, I actually saw it for the Court City 10K. I was laughing. I was like taking it in support of someone else running for Eagle, and I was laughing. I was like, I don't think anyone else here knows that I'm actually a member of Eagle. So yeah, I'll join for the photograph this time, definitely.
Oh, I'll keep an eye out for you, and we'll get you.
I actually raced it last year and I loved it, but it wasn't on the plan this year. I think once I started my Dublin training, I haven't been as fit as I have been previously. So we've
Yeah.
just kind of been like easing back into it, building a bit of an aerobic base. So Charleville will be the first kind of challenge to see where I actually am at.
And
Um,
you are going to race it.
I'm going to race it. So I haven't raced since Blarney last year,
Okay.
which was my personal best. I ran 127, like in third. It was a really unexpected 9 minute PB, a really unexpected third place. I actually think it was the most chaotic race of my life. And I don't know could I ever replicate that anytime soon anyway. But in Charleville, I'm going to try hang on to the 90 minute pacers and
Very
just see how
good.
it. Yeah, I think it'd be a good indicator for Dublin if I could manage that. But we'll see. My fitness, as I said, it's not been where it was at all.
And tell me then, how did the Run Club come about? Because
I like,
sorry, I've just listened to your times there. I'm going, that's fabulous times. But when I see you're posting about the Run Club, and I think it's one of the good things about the running community. Actually, everybody's very down to earth, and everyone wants to encourage people to go out running. And I did see one of your posts earlier where you were kind of annoyed that people were charging for run clubs. Is that how you then
yeah,
decide how you started it,
it was
or
definitely one thing. Like I'd always said, when I was doing the masters and I was working so much and training so much, I didn't have time to do it. I didn't have time to dedicate to it. And like I'm the type of person when I do something, I do it to 100%. I don't do anything like I don't put half into anything. I always put 100% in. So I always said, once I'm finished the course, once I'm into working one job and normal hours, I will dedicate some time to Run Club. I had seen that a Run Club was charging, I think, like €65 for 8 weeks of running, which I think is madness. You probably, like, you know yourself, an official Athletics Ireland club is €50 for the year.
Yeah,
You get
yeah.
your session sent out to you in an email. You have full access to a track. You have a group to run with. So when I saw that, one, I was aggravated. And two, I just said, like, this is something like if you want to nominate yourself to host a run club, you should be doing it for the right reasons, which is like helping other people. Like I love running. I love to see other people loving running. So that kind of gave me a push. Then I said, you know what? I actually am just going to go for this. And the other thing, I did intervals because even for me, like if I go and run a 5K, I actually find a 5K harder than running a 10K because it takes me nearly 8K to warm up into it
Yeah,
before I
yeah.
actually start going a run. So like this idea of like, oh, we're just going for an easy 5K. I was like, I actually don't think there's anything easy about a 5K. And especially as a beginner, like there's been times where I've been injured for a couple of weeks and coming back and running 5K would take absolutely everything out of me. So with intervals, I thought if I could split it up into groups, have say 6 by 2 minutes with a 1 minute rest, it means that people could walk, run, and then in different groups. So we'd have a group that like some people could be running 3:30 a kilometer, others could be running 7:30. And you know, everyone was still part of it because we were going on the same loop. We were passing each other. Everyone was cheering for each other. And there was groups in between all those paces. And it worked. It ran really well. I think everyone walked away from it being like, there was a group for me. I felt included. I didn't feel like I was coming in as the last person of the day. You know, like the idea of like doing a 5K, but being the last person to finish it, that would make me feel terrible. Like I would never go back.
Yeah, yeah.
So it just meant that everyone had their group. They were always running with someone. They were never going to be the last person in. And it worked. It ran really nicely. It ran smoothly.
Because
So yeah.
I remember one of the first running weekends that I went on, and I don't know if you ever listened to the Runner's Diary podcast, but Andy was Andy was part of that group, and I knew like that he's about 10 times faster than me. So I was heading off totally intimidated by this, going running with this group because
Yeah.
it was quids on that I was going to be last no matter what we're doing. But they
Right.
decided to do just as you're saying, we'll go 20 minutes out, 20 minutes back. And I was going, well, sure, that's great. Everyone was back after 40 minutes. It makes it so much more inclusive, doesn't it?
100%. Like, I just think it nearly gives me flashbacks to, in school, like if you were the last person picked for something or you did something in PE and you were not great at it and everyone else was so good at it. Or like it reminded me of when my friends were sprinting and I was the last one because I couldn't sprint. That makes me, I don't know, it just doesn't feel right. Like I wanted an idea where everyone was just able for their group and they came away from it feeling like they did something productive, they did something they were proud of. And like the feedback I got week on week was like really positive, and that kind of spurred me on then. So yeah, I was proud of it. It was great. We did a good. Like initially, my plan was to do 8 weeks leading into Cork Marathon. I know a lot of people had signed up for the 10, a lot of people had signed up for the half. So it would be a nice kind of interval session for people to do every week. But it kind of continued on then into the summer because there was popular demand for it. Like, so I kept it going. Yeah.
And it's still going.
It's still going now. It's getting tricky because the hard thing about intervals is having a pacer for every group.
Yeah, yeah.
So initially I was kind of organizing it. And this is what I mean by like, I'm a perfectionist. So I had to have someone leading every single group. And that can be so tricky because obviously everyone's busy, people have lives, things crop up. And yeah, that's the hardest part is probably organizing that. So I'm trying to think of a way where maybe I don't need pacers for every group, but I'm still in the process of like trying to figure out how I want to do that. So recently we've kind of been doing easy runs, but again, like you were saying, I'm setting it in minutes rather than like distance. So like we
Yeah.
might run 20 minutes, some people might run 40, but yeah, and then life as well. It's just hectic trying to agree to every Sunday. And you know yourself with your own training, like every Sunday I usually have a session on. So it's not possible for me to pace a group anymore. So we'll see. I might do a relaunch maybe after Dublin Marathon when things calm down a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. And so how did it come about then that you had the Adidas try on, or did I read that wrong? You did,
Yeah,
didn't you?
yeah, we did. Yeah, so that was actually through John Buckley's.
Okay.
So John Buckley's are amazing. Like we've done so many collaborations with us, and it's usually they will come to us and propose some sort of idea. So luckily Adidas had come to them saying we want to host a run club, a try on run club, and they came to us then. And I didn't realize at the time that it was the first ever one to be in Ireland, which was really cool. We found that out on the night. But the representatives from Adidas, they actually drove the van over from the UK. And I've never, it's like a runner's dream. I literally walked in and there's just shoes all over the inside of the van, all displayed in like glass cabinets. It was class.
Yeah, I went to the other one. The Edge had one as well in Tremor Valley. Now I'm a bit of an Adidas fan, but I had never worn their shoes. I
Mm.
had been more into the more Brooks or Saucony, and but I was always tempted to get the Pro Fours, but thought they might have been too much for me. So something like that is great then, where you can wear, you know,
100%.
each of the shoes. So I was like the glutton going, I want to have a run in all three, please. And
Yeah, yeah. I was the same. I tried on the three. And you know what? Similar to you, like I'm Asics through and through. Like they're my everyday running shoe. I wear the same Asics for like my long runs, my easy runs, my sessions. But then if I was reaching for a super shoe, like I'd go for the ones you see on Instagram or the ones you see on TikTok, which is predominantly Alpha Flies. I actually bought a pair of Alpha Flies and I didn't love them. I didn't actually run in them, but I knew from the get go, I was like, these are not going to suit me.
yeah,
And I ended up selling them. And I was really stuck on what to go for, but I tried the Pro 4s and I actually loved them.
yeah. And the Evo SLs, I was surprised because I thought, I heard people saying, "Oh, these are a great shoe for the price," but
Yeah.
I thought they were fabulous. In fact, I thought all three were fabulous, to be honest. And we're not sponsored by Adidas, just in case anyone's listening.
Yeah, yeah.
Why are they
No, I
buying it at
really
that?
like Steve ourselves as well. And I've heard really good feedback from them. So like a lot of clients say in the gym are wearing them recently. Or I've seen like even people for High Rocks are wearing them. Like as an everyday running shoe, I think they would be very nice. Like I'd be very fussy now about my shoes.
So, what would be? I'm being slightly tongue in cheek here. Now, what would be your shoe rotation and also outfit rotation? Because I did see you had a bit of a dilemma with
Oh yeah. Yeah,
color
yeah.
schemes.
Shoe wise, I wear the Asics Super Blast at the moment for literally everything. My coach highly recommended them to me. He sent me the link multiple times. So I invested in a pair.
For tempo runs, fast runs,
Literally everything. Yeah,
long
they're
runs.
like really light, really stacked with foam, and they're like netted nearly.
Yeah, yeah,
So super, super light, but they're so responsive. I've never had a shoe that I can wear for a long run, for an easy run, and then turn over at such pace. They're actually like incredible. I'm actually going to race Charleville in them. I'm going to avoid a super shoe for the moment, just for like precautionary reasons. But I really love them because previous to that, I was always wearing the Asics Gel Cumulus or the
yeah,
Nimbus, and I
yeah,
loved them. But they're very foamy, like not even foamy. They kind of have a gel sole that after a while on a long run, you would start getting blisters just because they kind of cushion a bit more. Your foot kind of sinks into them. So I was getting blisters, but like the very first day I wore Super Blasts, I ran 19 kilometers in them, having never ran in them. And I didn't get a single blister, which to me is always a really good indicator of a shoe.
yeah, yeah.
Um, and like super comfortable, like no issues breaking them in. And I wore them for my fastest session yet on Wednesday, and they were incredible. Like I was able to turn over major pace. So that they're literally the only shoe I'm wearing at the moment. Prior to that, I was wearing, I always say Saucony. I don't know if I'm saying it right. I know
Well,
some
that's what
people
I
say,
say. So
yeah.
must be right.
And I was wearing Elite, no, Saucony. I can't remember. They were a carbon anyway. And I laugh. I
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
lost them. I put them down in the Marina Market when I was eating food and I walked straight out without them.
Oh
Never seen
no,
again. Yeah.
200
Not
euros.
ideal for your €300 pair of super shoes, but yeah, they were time. It was time for them to go anyway. I'd done a few good runs in them. So I have to
Okay.
invest. Actually, I was in John Buckley's earlier today, looking at the Asics Mega Speeds, I think they're
Yeah,
called.
yeah.
So they're definitely an option for Dublin. Or maybe Saucony. I trust them. So we'll see. Or the Pro Force. Oh, I get killed at home. Like I have shoes pouring out of my wardrobe. It's actually shocking. I might wear them for a couple of weeks and I'm like, oh, I'm not mad keen on those. And then I'll swap them out again.
And
Um,
I would always try and have a little bit of razzmatazz and have socks that have to stand out. But you
oh,
obviously
yeah.
must be very conscious then of your outfits matching your shoes. That must be very
Yes.
difficult for your
Yeah,
TikToks.
so I'm a big Lululemon fan. I think anyone that knows me knows that. I laugh like the girls in there at this stage, they now send me pictures of new stock that comes in and they're like, oh, you'd love these shorts, you'd love this top, like a salesperson's dream. But yeah, literally anything Lululemon, I love all their stuff. I luckily actually was given an outfit from them for the Cork Marathon. So I had great fun going in and trying on all the different bits. Got a pair of fabulous shorts. They were blue, of course, and the white top, pink scrunchie, pink socks, blue and pink shoes, all tied together. So yeah, and then I usually always go, as you said, matching socks, matching shoes. But yeah, I kind of go through phases. I'm like either all about the baggy shorts, or I go the total opposite way, back to the classic, like Nike Pros. It could totally depend on my mood, to be honest.
And
I hate winter dressing for running. I'm much more of a summer. I like the shorts and the nice tops. I'm sick of the long sleeves already.
with the at least this winter was mild enough. You probably could get away with it. And the TikTok, it's more TikTok really for you, isn't it? It's not really
Mostly
Instagram.
TikTok. Yeah, yeah. I love TikTok. Do you know what? I think you can post a little bit more like whatever you want. I always feel. Um, Whereas Instagram, I kind of keep it more of like a business page. Like I kept it a lot for like my PTing and my classes. Whereas I feel like I can kind of share whatever I want on TikTok. It's just more like free or something. I don't know how to explain it, but like some of the things I post on TikTok, I would never share across onto my Instagram feed. I just feel like you have a little bit more freedom to post on TikTok and as frequently as you want. Like I by no means have a huge following on TikTok in comparison to people like that are TikTok famous, but like I think that I have a nice community and like
Yeah.
people who have like very similar mindsets to me, or like people who just enjoy watching my running or are inspired by it in some way, shape, or form. But I was laughing after the Cork Marathon. I ended up doing the half marathon after dropping out of the full. My injury kind of came around. I did the half just for a bit of crack with my friends, and we went to Deep South after. And there was a girl at the bar, and I was standing next to her waiting to order, and she turned to me and she was like, I think I know you from TikTok. And I remember just thinking it was so strange. I think she said she was from Tipperary, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my God, like, I can't believe anyone would ever recognize me from TikTok. And she was like, I love your running videos. And it was a nice moment, like, where I was like, okay, people actually do appreciate them. Because sometimes I get into my own head, I'd be like, oh, is this really cringe? Like, are people kind of laughing at what I'm posting? And I can go through phases where I actually will stop posting altogether if I do get into my head. But I think all in all, it is a really positive community. And most of the time I get really good feedback on it. So
But I definitely think the running community is a supportive and positive community. I just find that the running community always are positive, are encouraging, are, you know, and I got so many people coming up to me at park runs saying, "Oh, I see you on, or I saw you on," and it is a great
right.
boost. It gives you that feeling of like, that you are doing something. But so
That's
many
it, yeah.
people had recommended, all of them were going, "Oh, she's great. You should have a look at her," and she's,
Right.
and I'm going, "All
Yeah.
right."
It's always so nice to hear like, yeah, I think I am someone I do get into my head about these things. Like sometimes like I'd be like, why am I posting? No one cares about what you have to say. Like no one wants to hear what you have to say about running. But like I think like it genuinely comes from a really good place. Like I always say, I'm like, I don't want anything from TikTok. Like I don't want sponsorships. I don't want payments. Like I genuinely like sharing things about my running journey because I have been running for so long. I've made so many mistakes along the way and I've learned so much over the last couple of years that if I could give someone even one piece of information that they hold on to, I'd be delighted with that, to be honest.
Yeah. When I saw you talking initially about, or being annoyed about charging for the run club, that's the sort of spirit that people need, really, isn't it? Like,
Yeah, 100%. I definitely feel like it ruffles some feathers, but like running is a free sport. It's the beauty of it. Now, in saying that, I spend a stupid amount of money on shoes and clothes and socks and whatever, all the fancy kit. But at the end of the day, you actually don't need any of it. You need a good pair of shoes. It's the one thing I say that everyone should have, a good
yeah,
pair
yeah,
of shoes. And other than that, you actually don't need anything. You can just go out. It's free to run. And I think like running has given me so much and like across all areas of my life. Like it's not just running. It's benefited me in so many other ways. And I think it's so good for your head. Like even if you get out for 15 minutes, the benefit I think it can do for your head and for your whole day and across all areas of your life. Like I just, yeah, I love it.
I remember my sister asking me when she was going, "Yeah, but does it not, does it not knacker your knees? Does it not, take its toll and blah, blah, blah?" And I was going, I find on the days, and this was before marathon blocks where I was doing, doing 5, some days 6 days a week. But I was saying the days I'm not running is the days that I actually feel worse, not necessarily headspace, but everything.
Yeah, I actually was only saying this earlier. I was like, I'm grand when I'm running. I'm usually sore when I'm not running.
Yeah.
So I'll be like, oh, this hurts and this hurts and this hurts. And then I go running again and I'm like, oh, I'm grand. Like, yeah, it's just, I think it's a sport that gives you so much. And yeah, as I said, I just want people to love it as much as I love it.
Yeah. But that definitely comes across in your TikToks. It definitely comes across that you have an enthusiasm.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And yeah, but you were talking about it's so good for your head as well. I've often felt that there's times, if you've got something stressful going on in work or there's decisions that you have to make, you just get out and run. And either in running, you're thinking things through, or the opposite happens. You just forget about it. You're worried about your pace or your heart rate or whatever. But you either solve it or you actually just calm down about it. And that's one of the things that I find really good about the whole thing,
Yeah.
Yeah. Always. It's even a bit like there's people talking about cross country running now, and they're going, oh, it's the worst thing in the world when you're out there. But the minute it finishes, you feel,
I love
so
cross
much.
country.
Oh, do you?
I know I don't now, but when I was younger, oh my God, it was like my whole life. I was obsessed with cross country. I was a good cross country runner. I loved it. I loved the hills. I loved the muck. The muckier the course and the hillier the course, the better I would do. I just loved it.
Oh, I need to let the girls and Eagles know that now because they're mad for
I know. I saw it in the group chat. I said to my coach, there's no way he'd let me go run a cross country race coming into Dublin. Not a hope.
No, I think like my wife Yvonne is tempted by it, which surprises me because she's not doesn't really love the cold, but she's gone to a meeting tonight about it. So I'm going like,
yeah, I saw that. Yeah. Okay, interesting. I would love to. I said, you know what now? Next year, definitely. I would love to go back and do a cross country season. Yeah, I loved it. I was always strong in the hills, muck. Like I remember running, I think it was in All Ireland in Meath, and we were literally, it was like a downpour of rain the 3 days leading into it, and we were nearly knee deep into mud, and I loved every second of it. Trudging like through it, and I loved it.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd like it. I'm not sure. But
it's definitely a different type of racing because every course is so different. Like you could have a really fast flat course, and then you could have like the one in WIT is literally up a mountain, and when you think it can't go up anymore, it goes up again, and then you spend about a hour just flying downhill. Yeah, I loved it. I used to hate coming into track then indoor. I hated indoor track, and I wasn't fast enough for 1500s and 800s. I think I was better as I started getting older because I could move out to 3Ks and 5Ks. But then my career kind of abruptly ended, so I never got to enjoy it, I think.
Well,
as much, yeah.
Well, we're not abruptly ending, but it is a good time to finish. You're full of surprises, and I just want to say thank you so much for joining me this week. And I know you're going to come back in a couple of weeks to talk about your Dublin experience. So thanks for joining me. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much for the chat. Nice to chat to you.
Yeah, we'll see you again.
Nice.
Cheers. Bye. That was Karen Twomey, TikToker, influencer, personal trainer, teacher, run club organizer, and a fabulous runner. So good to have her joining. Next week we're going to have Gareth. Running with Gareth is the name of his account. Gareth Franklin will be joining me, and he'll be talking about his road to Dublin as well as his life as a runner and how he got into all of those things. So listen, thanks for tuning in this week. Follow us on all the social media platforms, particularly this podcast. Like and subscribe would be much appreciated. But for this week, thanks for listening, and join us again next Wednesday and every Wednesday for the Middle of the Pack podcast. Thanks for listening.